The Cave of Altamira is a cave in Spain famous for its Upper Paleolithic cave paintings featuring drawings and polychrome rock paintings of wild mammals and human hands. It was the first cave in which prehistoric cave paintings were discovered. When the discovery was first made public in 1880, it led to a bitter public controversy between experts which continued into the early 20th century, since many did not believe prehistoric man had the intellectual capacity to produce any kind of artistic expression. The acknowledgment of the authenticity of the paintings, which finally came in 1902, changed the perception of prehistoric human beings. It is located near the town of Santillana del Mar in Cantabria, Spain, 30 km west of the city of Santander. The cave with its paintings has been declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Description: the cave is approximately 300 meters long and consists of a series of twisting passages and chambers. The main passage varies from 2 to 6 meters in height. The cave was formed through collapses following early karstic phenomena in the calcareous rock of Mount Vispiers. Archaeological excavations in the cave floor found rich deposits of artifacts from the Upper Solutrean and Lower Magdalenian. Both periods belong to the Paleolithic or Old Stone Age. In the millennia between these two occupations, the cave was evidently inhabited only by wild animals. Human occupants of the site were well positioned to take advantage of the rich wildlife that grazed in the valleys of the surrounding mountains as well as the marine life available in nearby coastal areas. Around 13,000 years ago a rockfall sealed the cave's entrance, preserving its contents until its eventual discovery, which occurred after a nearby tree fell and disturbed the fallen rocks. Human occupation was limited to the cave mouth, although paintings were created throughout the length of the cave. The artists used charcoal and ochre or hematite to create the images, often diluting these pigments to produce variations in intensity and creating an impression of chiaroscuro. They also exploited the natural contours in the cave walls to give their subjects a three-dimensional effect. The polychrome ceiling is the most impressive feature of the cave, depicting a herd of extinct steppe bison in different poses, 2 horses, a large doe, and possibly a wild boar. Dated to the Magdalenian occupation, these paintings include abstract shapes in addition to animal subjects. Solutrean paintings include images of horses and goats, as well as handprints that were created when artists placed their hands on the cave wall and blew pigment over them to leave a negative image. Numerous other caves in northern Spain contain Paleolithic art, but none is as complex or well populated as Altamira. Discovery, excavation, skepticisms. In 1879, amateur archaeologist Marcelino Sanz de Soteola was led by his 8-year-old daughter Mara to discover the cave's drawings. The cave was excavated by Soteola and archaeologist Juan Villanueva y Pura from the University of Madrid, resulting in a much-acclaimed publication in 1880 which interpreted the paintings as Paleolithic in origin. The French specialists, led by Gabriel de Mortillet and Émile Cartaillac, were particularly adamant in rejecting the hypothesis of Soteola and Pura, and their findings were loudly ridiculed at the 1880 Prehistorical Congress in Lisbon. Due to the supreme artistic quality, and the exceptional state of conservation of the paintings, Soteola was even accused of forgery. A fellow countryman maintained that the paintings had been produced by a contemporary artist, on Soteola's orders. It was not until 1902, when several other findings of prehistoric paintings had served to render the hypothesis of the extreme antiquity of the Altamira paintings less offensive, that the scientific society retracted their opposition to the Spaniards. That year, Émile Cartaillac emphatically admitted his mistake in the famous article, "Mea culpa d'un sceptique," published in the journal L'Anthropologie. Soteola, having died 14 years earlier, did not live to enjoy his rehabilitation. Further excavation work on the cave was done by Hermilio Alcalde del Rio between 1902-04. The German Hugo Obermeier between 1924-25 and finally by Joaquim N. González Echegaray in 1981. Scientists continue to evaluate the age of the cave art at Altamira. In 2008, researchers using uranium-thorium dating found that the paintings were completed over a period of up to 20,000 years rather than during a comparatively brief period. In 2012, further uranium-thorium dating research was published supporting an older age for portions of the art, including one claviform image at 35,600 years old. Visitors and replicas. During the 1960s and 1970s, the paintings were being damaged by the carbon dioxide in the breath of the large number of visitors. Altamira was completely closed to the public in 1977, and reopened to limited access in 1982. Very few visitors were allowed in per day, resulting in a 3-year waiting list. A replica cave and museum were built nearby and completed in 2001 by Manuel Franquillo and Sven Bull, reproducing the cave and its art. The replica allows a more comfortable view of the polychrome paintings of the main hall of the cave, as well as a selection of minor works. It also includes some sculptures of human faces that are not visitable in the real cave. As well as the adjacent National Museum and Research Center of Altamira, there are reproductions in the National Archaeological Museum of Spain, in the Deutsches Museum in Munich and in Japan. During 2010 there were plans to reopen access to the cave towards the end of that year. In December 2010, however, the Spanish Ministry of Culture decided that the cave would remain closed to the public. This decision was based on advice from a group of experts who had found that the conservation conditions inside the cave had become much more stable since the closure. Cultural impact. Some of the polychrome paintings at Altamira Cave are well known in Spanish popular culture. The logo used by the autonomous government of Cantabria to promote tourism to the region is based on one of the bisons in this cave. Bisonte, a Spanish cigarette brand of the 20th century, also used a Paleolithic-style bison figure along with its logo. The Spanish comic character and series Altamiro de la Cueva, created in 1965, are a consequence of the fame of Altamira Cave. The comic series depicts the adventures of a group of prehistoric cavemen, shown as modern people, but dressed in pieces of fur, a bit like the Flintstones. The song The Caves of Altamira appears on the 1976 album The Royal Scam by jazz rock band Steely Dan, later covered by soul group Perry. The iconic bison image has been used for the cover of the poetry collection Songs for the Devil and Death by Scottish author Hal Duncan. The protagonist in Satyajit Ray's Aganttuk was inspired by the charging bison painting to leave his home and study tribals. In the Golden Sun game, there is a cave known as Altmila Cave, probably based on the caves of Altamira. See also, Art of the Upper Paleolithic, List of Stone Age art, Paleolithic cave art of northern Spain, Caves in Cantabria, 12 Treasures of Spain, references. Bibliography, Curtis, Gregory. The Cave Painters, Probing the Mysteries of the World's First Artists. New York, Alfred A. Knopf, 2006. Guthrie, Ardale. The Nature of Prehistoric Art. Chicago, University of Chicago Press, 2006. McNeil, William H. Secrets of the Cave Paintings, The New York Review of Books, Vol. A53, No. A16, October 19, 2006. Pike, A.W.G. Hoffman, D.L. Garcia Diaz, M. Petitite, P.B. Alcolia, J. De Bourbon, R. Gonzalez Sainz, C. De las Heras, C. Las Heras, J. A. Montes, R. Zilhao, J. U. Series Dating of Paleolithic Art in 11 Caves in Spain. Science 336, 1409 €1413. doi, 10.1126/science 1219957 External links, Altamira Cave National Museum in Spanish and English, The Spanish Cave of Altamira opens, with Politics Bradshaw Foundation article, Les Pinches para Copyright Historiques de la Grotte d'Euro Unregistered Trademark Altamira, Cartelac and Bruel founding article, online and analyzed on BibNum. Click copyright La copyright charger for English version.